This conference will now be recorded.
Okay guys, here in this session, I'm going to start a topic called terms of payment. It is also called payment terms. So what is this terms of payment or payment terms, and what's the need of setting this payment terms? So let me give an example here. Okay, now, so we are giving an example of Tata Motor. So now here, what is happening? Let's suppose, let's suppose, or whichever companies are there, whichever organizations are there, every organizations will have certain customer and certain vendor. Okay. So now we'll talk about vendor itself. Even the same thing is applicable on customer also. So whenever we talk about a vendor or customer, it means vendor is for purchase and customer is for sales. Now, so whatever sales and purchases are taking place, those sales and purchase will take place on credit basis. Okay, these sales and purchases are taking place on credit basis. So credit basis means we are going to purchase or sell something right now. Whereas if you talk about the payment, payment will be made after certain days. It's not like that immediately we are going to make payment. If you have to purchase something, if we have to purchase something from market, what will happen immediately? We are going to visit the market. We'll visit 2, 3, or 4, 5 shops. Okay, we'll inquire about the prices, and then we are going to purchase from a particular shop, and immediately we are going to make payment. But in case of organization, it will not happen like this. They are going to buy the goods right now and the payment will be made later. They are going to sell goods right now and the payment will be made later. This is called credit purchase and credit sales, which is there in every organization. Now, so this credit purchase and credit sales, most likely certain negotiations will happen with the vendor or customer. So as per negotiations, let's suppose we told to the vendor that whenever, like, whatever the goods and services we are going to make, we are going to purchase, so against those purchases, the payment will be made after 30 days or might be after 45 days, after 60 days, after 90 days, depends upon the different kind of and nature of purchases. Okay, so now here the question is, let's suppose we have purchased certain things on this date. We have purchased certain thing on this date. Now, what will be the payment on this date we have purchased? So what will be the payment? The payment will be, if it is after 30 days, then payment is going to take place on 38th. After means on or after. On or after. So it means the payment will be made on or after 38th of December. So what is called this 38th of December, guys? This is called due date. This 30th of December is called due date. It means the what to say, purchases. We have made a purchase on this date, and the payment is going to be made on or after 30 days. So this is the due date. If it is 05/12/2018, what is the due date? 04/01/2019. Okay. Likewise, if somebody is going to make purchase on 15/12/2018, so what will be the due date? So this will be the due date, 14th of January 2019. Now here the thing is that, so if we are having one or two or three or four or five purchases, or let's suppose even 100, 200 purchases also, in that case, we can calculate the due date manually. Okay, we can calculate the due date manually. But what about an organization where thousands of purchases are taking place, isn't it, on daily basis? So how? Or thousands of sales are taking place on daily basis. So how this due dates are going to be calculated, guys? Manually, it is not possible, because manually, like, okay, this is, and even there will be lots of different requirements. Some vendor says that, okay, you have to make payment after 30 days. Some vendor says that you have to make payment after 60 days. Some vendor says that you have to make payment after 30 days. Isn't it? Even some vendor give a criteria that if you are going to make payment within 10 days, then we are going to give you a 5% discount. If you are going to make payment within 20 days, then we are going to give 2% discount, right? Or is sometime installment payment also will be there. So it is impossible to remember all those things, because vendor wise, like let's suppose we are having, and that too we are having, like if it is a big organization, they will be having several thousands vendors. So how to remember this terms of payment, that which vendor, like let's suppose for 1000 vendors, there are thousands of vendors for which the payment terms agreed like 30 days. There are 2000 vendors for which we have agreed the payment terms like 60 days. It means we are going to make payment after 60 days, right? So this much is not possible to remember. Okay. Earlier, when the ERPs were not there in the market, so in those days, like even what to say, uh, this much huge purchase and sales also will not be there, and even if it is there also, not this much, but exactly. So what is happening, somehow they were able to manage in those days, and this is how, and this is why huge number of team was working even in backend also, right? So now generally what is happening, so we are not going to discuss like how people were managing these terms of payment earlier. Now we are going to discuss how these terms of payment or payment terms are going to manage here in SAP. Okay, so whichever this due date calculation is there, that is going to happen automatically. It's not like that we are going to remember, we are going to remember each terms of payment against every vendor, and then we have to give it manually. Manually is next to impossible. Okay, manually is next to impossible, guys. So what will happen? There are certain configurations. We have to do a configurations for terms of payment or so-called payment terms, and then what will happen, guys? Then this terms of payment. Let's suppose we are having a vendor called. There are several vendors out there. Right? Likewise, several vendors are there. Vendor A, B, C, D. These are the name of the vendor which I have given. Okay. Every vendors out of this, few of the vendors will have, like they have agreed that the payment will be made after 30 days. It means whichever things we are going to purchase from these three vendors, so the payment is going to be made after 30 days. So for that we have created a payment terms TM30, and this payment terms we have linked against three vendor. In the master data itself, in vendor master data itself, we are going to store this terms of payment. Now I think you guys will be having understanding why to set up the master data. Why to set up the master data, guys? Because this is how such kind of discussions whichever happened, those things are going to be stored in master data itself. If we made a purchase from vendor, then what is the name of the vendor? What is the address of the vendor? What is the telephone number of the vendor? Isn't it? Who is the contact person of the vendor? If in case of any dispute, what will happen? We have to contact somebody from vendor side. So who is the contact person? Those details also we are going to specify in the master data itself. What is the bank details of this vendor, because while making payment we need to have the bank details and all, right? So what is the bank details? That is also going to be specified in the master data itself. What is the terms of payment? It means whether we have to make payment after 30 days, after 60 days, after 90 days. So these details are also going to be specified in the vendor master itself, right? So what is happening, guys? Let's suppose earlier in the sense 50 years back, 60 years back, for every vendor they might be maintaining some diaries or all or some certain book where they are going to specify the name, address, bank details, okay, or is like this payment terms that 30 days, 60 days, okay, they used to maintain some registers or they used to maintain certain things, and they are going to refer. They will take out the registers, they will check, okay, this vendor is having so and so, terms of payment. This is the address, this is the things. Right now what is happening? No registers and all. Those registers converted into digital registers, so called master data. It means for every vendor we are going to maintain a master data, and in that master data itself we are going to specify all the details. Okay, so even in vendor master itself we are going to specify this terms of payment also. So this is how we will come to know, okay, this vendor is this, for this vendor, whichever invoices are going to be due, whichever invoices are going to be posted, those invoices are going to be due after 30 days. Now, I'll tell you guys, even if you assign these terms of payment, what will happen? If you assign these terms of payment against the vendor master, then this due date calculation, whichever the due date calculation is happening, this due date calculation will happen automatically. Okay, This due date calculation will happen automatically. Here against vendor master, we are going to assign this terms of payment. But automatically system is, while posting the invoices, automatically the due date calculation is going to happen. How it is happening? That I'll show you guys practically. It's pretty easy. Okay. I'm giving this much explanations because you should have the clear picture and the clear logic behind creation of terms of payment. There are several people, 90%, 95% of the people are there, or candidates are there. Even when I conduct also interview, at that time also, 95% of the people are not having the clear logic. Why we set up this terms of payment? There are lots of things to explore in terms of payment, guys. There are lots of things to learn in terms of payment. And once you become a consultant, you'll be also having some requirement to set up this terms of payment. There are certain unique terms of payment which I'm going to cover, which you will not find anywhere, right? This is a real-time requirement which I have received from my clients and all. I did some R&D and then I created that, right? So now what I'm saying that everybody are just learning how to configure these terms of payment, but this is useless because in interview we are not going to ask how to configure these terms of payment. We are going to ask why to configure these terms of payment. So if you talk about the configuration of terms of payment, within 2 minutes I can define one terms of payment. But why there is a lecture of 1 hour completely, guys? Because of logic. Like we need to understand why to set up this terms of payment, and there are lots of things to explore in terms of payment. If you set up terms of payment, there are several fields are going to appear. So people will ask that what do you mean by this? What do you mean by that? Or why to set up this terms of payment terms and all, isn't it? So, and as I said, like several people are there who is lacking in this logical knowledge. Simply they will say that, yeah, this is how we are going to set up this terms of payment. But this is not the answer, right? Somebody is asking why and you are replying how. So interviewer will not be satisfied. Anyway, so if you have a perfect knowledge, the first thing is like you are going to crack the interview very easily. And apart from this, after getting placements, once you become consultant, you are not required to be dependent on anybody. Okay. Now, so we'll come back on our explanations once again. So what I'm saying, guys, so terms of payment we are going to set up, and these terms of payment will be assigned against vendor master. Okay, and whenever we are going to post the invoices, guys, you will be able to remember while posting the invoices, those invoices are going to be posted against vendor master itself, against a particular vendor. It means we are going to give a vendor number, right? So here what is happening? Terms of payment we have assigned against vendor master, and against vendor itself we are going to post the invoices. So what is happening? System is going to copy the payment terms directly from vendor master itself. How it is happening? That also I'll show you guys practically. So now here what I'm saying, let's suppose we are having several vendors. For few of the vendors, we have agreed upon that payment will be made in 30 days. So we have set up a terms of payment TM30. Likewise, few vendors we are going to make in 60 days. So this is TM60. We have created a terms of payment. For few vendors, it is 90 days. So this is the terms of payment we have created, and these terms of payments are going to be assigned against vendor master. So manually we are not required to remember that, okay, what is the agreement, what kind of agreement or what kind of things we have agreed in terms of payment and all. So whatever the discussions are happening between purchasing team means every organizations will have a purchasing team. They are going to negotiate with the vendors regarding all these things, and particularly on payment terms itself, that okay, if we are going to buy goods right now, but what about the payment? Payment will be made after 60 days or after 90 days or after 30 days, right? So whichever agreement has happened with vendors and all, This purchasing team, what exactly they are doing, guys? They will keep on hunting new vendor. They'll keep on searching new vendor in the market, and even they will keep on negotiating with the new vendors. What is happening here? This purchasing team will keep on negotiating with the vendors. So in that they will negotiate in terms of payment terms also. Let's suppose if they agreed like okay, payment will be made after 60 days. So they are going to raise a request to the master data team that now this vendor, we have this vendor is a new vendor. Okay, so kindly set up this vendor master in our SAP because in future we are going to have some transactions with this vendor. So what is happening before having any transactions? The first activity we have to do is master data setup. It's not we are going to do. This is not the activity of consultant. That will be the activity of end user itself. There will be a master data team. Those people are going to make this master data setup. So the purchasing team will raise a request that create this vendor master because in future we might have some transactions with this vendor. So transactions will be possible only like whether you have to set up the first of all if you have to make any purchases, then what is happening, guys? We are going to raise a purchase order against that vendor. So even this PO is also going to be set up in SAP itself. How to set up that also I'll let you know once I start the integration topic, guys. That is going to be very exclusive explanations, and I'm going to cover some scenarios. You search anywhere on YouTube, you won't be you'll never find those scenarios and all anywhere. So this is how you guys are going to be unique, and that is going to be that is those explanations are going to make you people quite unique compared to whichever the other candidates are coming from any coaching institutions of the entire what to say part of the countries. Now, so here, what I'm saying, like, let's suppose the first activity, we have to generate a purchase order. So this purchase order also getting generated from SAP itself, and that too against a vendor itself. So here also vendor involvement is there. Once the your vendor is going to deliver the goods, so that is also going to be recorded as a goods received, then invoice received, the final payment. So everywhere the vendor's involvement will be there, right? So what is happening, guys? The first activity happens in the system is setting up the vendor master, and even the similar things are there in case of customer also. So we'll discuss later once we start the account receivable. Right now we'll concentrate on vendor itself since we are in account payable. So now here what is happening? Purchasing team will raise a request to set up this vendor master. So at the time of setting up vendor master itself, they are going to specify all those details. What is the name of the vendor? What is the address of the vendor? What is the phone number of the vendor? Who is the contact person? What is the terms of payment? What is the bank details of the vendor? Right? These all details are going to be given by purchasing team itself. They are going to fill up an Excel sheet or template or something, and they will send to the master data team, and they are going to set up this vendor master. Okay, we have already in the previous session I have shown you guys how to set up this vendor master, but still those settings are incomplete. Why? Because I have left certain details knowingly, because once we run automatic payment program, then I have to cover some real-time errors which is appearing, okay, which is being faced by consultant. So how it will happen? So that is why knowingly some of the fields I have left so that this error will appear. I will let you know how to analyze those errors in automatic payment program, and then how we are going to rectify those errors and all, because during interview people are going to ask, isn't it? People are going to ask like, let's suppose we are going to run automatic payment program, and in that, like, what is happening? Uh, Generally, in that proposal is getting created. Proposal generally first thing is going to be created is proposal. The proposal is going to be created, but in that accounting entry is not getting generated. It means certain error has taken place. So tell me the errors. What could be the errors? Okay, if you told one, they will say that okay, Let's suppose we have rectified that mistake, that errors. Now what next? Isn't it? Again, what next in the sense, again we are going to run this APP, and again no accounting entry has generated in proposal. So what could be the next possible error? If you told the second one, then again they are going to repeat the same. What could be the next possible error? If you told the third, again they will repeat the same. I'll tell you guys, 97, 98% of the people are not able to explain even a single error, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, in each and every topic, there are lots of things to learn and there are lots of things to explore. So have some patience, listen the lecture carefully, and spend some time and be a perfect consultant in terms of cracking interview also, and even after survival, in case of survival also, everything is going to be happen. So that is why I have left certain things so that these errors will appear, and then I'll let you know that how to analyze the error, how you'll come to know that which error has taken place. That is called error analysis. And once after we analyze the errors, then we also have to find out like what is the root cause, because of which mistake this error has taken place. So these all things I will let you know, and it's going to be a perfect explanation. So anyway, that topic still before that we are having some other what is say lectures, and even in terms of payment itself, it is going to be 3-4 lectures, isn't it? Which is going to be covered by people within 10 minutes. Uh, but there are lots of things to explore. So let me come back on this terms of payment itself. Okay. So now what is happening? We are going to give this terms of payment in the vendor master itself. We are going to assign this terms of payment, okay, or so-called payment terms, so that while posting the invoices, automatically these terms of payments are going to be copied from vendor master to the document level. How it is going to happen, that I'll explain practically, so that you guys will be having perfect understanding, in the sense whatever theoretically I have explained, if practically I'm going to show you guys, then you will be having a perfect understanding. Okay, so now we'll do one thing. We'll set up a terms of payment, a basic terms of payment today, and I'll let you know how these all, how it is going to be set up. There are so many fields which will be discussed one by one, even next classes also, terms of payment itself, next to next classes also, terms of payment itself will be there. So don't worry, one by one we are going to discuss each and everything. So the first thing is, we have to set up a basic terms of payment today. Today I'm going to set up a basic terms of payment. Okay, so let me log in. Okay, so now here, how to define the terms of payment. So transaction code is OBB8. Okay, I told you guys that I'm going to use the transaction code itself. If you want to use path or transaction code, whichever you want, you can use. Even in real time also, no one is going to use the path, because transaction code is easier. Never listen anybody in the market. There are lots of consultant or there are lots of trainer who says like better to follow path, better to follow transaction code. It's not like that. Neither people during interview, neither we are going to ask about transaction code nor about path. Why? Because if you mug up the transaction code or if you mug up the path, it doesn't mean that you become a good consultant, isn't it? There are lots of configurations for which I don't know what is the path. There are lots of configurations where I know the past, but I don't know transaction code. It doesn't mean that I become a bad consultant and somebody who knows those things, they become the good consultant. We need to know the logic. Okay. So just concentrate on my explanations and concentrate on the logics which I'm explaining here. Okay. Not to concentrate on the transaction code and path. Why? Because during interview, if somebody is going to ask the transaction code, it means your performance came at lowest level, isn't it? They will say like, what do you mean by, let's suppose, what do you mean by baseline date? Baseline date is going to appear here in this terms of payment itself. You are unable to reply, right? Then they'll ask, okay, why we set up this terms of payment? You are unable to reply. Where do we assign this terms of payment? If you are unable to reply, then they will say, okay, at least tell me how to set up this terms of payment. You tell me the some transaction code also. It means they're coming down from, they started from, like certain logical answers, like they asked this baseline date, you could not reply. Then they asked like, what do you mean by terms of payment? Even you could not reply. They came little bit down. They said like, okay, where to assign this terms of payment? Still you don't reply. Then they came at lowest level. Tell me the transaction code. And if you reply the transaction code, it means never think that, oh, I have given this reply, so my selections will be there. Arey, this is the worst performance. It means somebody is going to ask the transaction code. It means the performance is not satisfactory. They came at lowest level. Okay. So need not to be any kind of, don't worry about the T code and all. Now let me configure this terms of payment. Here, okay, let me see. I have done any terms of payment. I have to delete. No. Okay. So here, the moment. Now we came in the first screen here in terms of payment. Click on new entry as usual. Now here there are lots of things to explain. So the first thing is we have to give a code, terms of payment code. I'm going to give TM30. Okay, I have to define a basic terms of payment. It means once we make any posting today, the invoices are supposed to be due after 30 days. So a basic terms of payment I have set up, that is TM30. Okay. Okay. So now a code I have given. Apart from this, look at here, we are having account type. Okay, here account type. What is this account type, guys? This account type is here already customer and vendor account got selected. So it means this terms of payment, whichever terms of payment is going to be set up, that is going to be used against customer also and against vendor also. Because if we are going to say our vendor that, okay, 30 days terms of payment, means we are going to make payment after 30 days. Even the similar terms of payment need to be negotiated with the customers also. The customers also are going to negotiate with us that, okay, if we are going to buy your end product, the payment will be made after 30 days, after 60 days, after 90 days. Depends upon the nature of the project. Okay. Nature of the project in the sense, I mean to say, if small purchases are there, then why to hold the payment till 90 days or 60 days and all. If big purchases are there, then people will say that there might be some delay. If they're going to purchase a heavy machineries and all, in that there might be some installment payments also can take place. So these all things will be discussed slowly, one by one. Not in this session itself. There are several other sessions also will come on the same topic. Okay. Now, so here account type always customer and vendor, by default it is selected. If particularly you want to define this terms of payment for vendor itself, then what will happen? Remove the check mark from customer. So if you remove the check mark from customer, then what will happen? These terms of payment cannot be used against customer. If you're going to assign these terms of payment in customer master, system will not accept this. So I'll tell you guys, generally whenever we are going to set up any terms of payment, even though the requirement is for vendor master right now, but still we don't remove the check mark from customer, because if not today, might be in future, if we are going to receive the similar requirement from sales team, that we also need such kind of payment terms, because this is a negotiation happen with the customer, then at that time we are not going to create the new one. We have to find out in SAP itself, if already this terms of payment has been set up, then why to create a new one? Simply we are going to give the same code that we have set up already, TM30, you just use this terms of payment. So whenever we set up this terms of payment, we always keep both the check mark here. It means by default, whatever the check mark is there, better not to remove this. Okay. Now, I said 30 days. So let me here it means invoices are going to be due after 30 days. There are lots of things to discuss, guys, but those fields will be discussed one by one. There are other sessions also will appear, will come. So there we are going to explain about this fixed days terms of payment, or is installment terms of payment, or is discount, or whatever the things are there. Right now we are talking about a fixed days terms of payment. So give 30 days, 30 days here, number of days, 30 days here, and press enter. If you press enter, look at here, the explanations are going to be the explanation, whichever this explanation is there, that is going to change immediately. I think connection is broken. So let me log in once again, because I have explained in between we have not done into any, no movement has happened here, so it logged out. So let me log in once again. Okay, so guys, whichever the sessions I'm giving, few of the videos I upload on YouTube also, but that is just for demo. Whatever videos I'm uploading, it doesn't mean that all the videos are going to be uploaded. Few of the videos just for demo I'm uploading. It's a kind of advertisement, because everybody is nowadays, it's time of advertisement, because if you don't advertise, right, then people will not know about you, about your quality. So that is why I'm uploading few videos, but not all the videos, just basic things, whatever the unique things are there, that is I'm going to explain in the live session itself. So don't worry that, okay, we are paying money and sir is uploading the videos on YouTube also, so other people also are. Other people means just the basic videos only I'm uploading. Okay. Now, so once again, use transaction code OB B8. Click on new entries. Give this code here and keep this both check mark as it is. Now, what I said, like it is going to be due in 30 days. Okay. So I have given number of days here, 30 itself, and press enter. If you press enter, look at here, the explanation got changed. Earlier it was payable due immediately or something was there, so that is got changed. Explanation field is going to be updated automatically. Okay, this explanation fields are going to be updated automatically based on the input which we have given here. So what will happen, just copy this explanations, just copy these explanations and paste it here in text field. And even if you want, you can keep the same thing here in one explanation also. What is the logic behind one explanation, guys? Sometimes what is happening, there are certain countries, let's suppose China. So Chinese people, what is happening, they are very much what to say, comfortable in their language itself, isn't it? And whatever the other language, like if you talk about English, it's an international language which is well accepted everywhere, but still Chinese people or even French people also. So what is happening, these people, like there are certain employees who doesn't know the English and all. So what will happen, they will say that whatever this terms of payment is there, even you just give these details in Chinese language also. So they will simply write a mail, and in that mail they will write this Chinese font and all. Simply we are going to copy and we are going to paste it here. Okay, so one explanation means it could be Chinese, it could be French, it could be German, but it cannot be Hindi, it cannot be Telugu, it cannot be Tamil, isn't it? Because these languages are not supported by SAP. Okay, so whichever languages are supported by SAP, those languages only can be given in that, like this Chinese and French and German, these languages are there. This can be pasted here. Okay, so this is called one explanations. But in very rare cases, like even in China also there are several clients, but all clients do not raise such kind of request. Very few clients will be there who might have such kind of requirement. This is why the SAP has given this own explanations. It means we can give explanations here in local language also. Now apart from this, so let me save it, or else this will also logged out. Okay, but here got generated. Now still we have to do few more settings here. Okay, now so we'll talk about, in this session we'll talk about this baseline date. Look at here, what is this baseline date? Okay, right now there is a check mark here, no default, right? Right now there is a check mark on no default here. So whenever we set up a terms of payment, whenever we set up the terms of payment, the check mark will be here or no default itself, right? Now we are having three options. We have to select any of these three. What is these three options and why to select? I'll tell you. Whenever you post an invoice, whenever you post an invoice, let me post an invoice. So open a new screen. Use transaction code FD60. So whenever we are going to post an invoice, then what is happening? The first confusion is we are going to give two dates, invoice date and posting date. Guys, invoice date is nothing but it is also called document date also. So invoice date equals to what? Document date. Whether you say Delhi or New Delhi, both are almost same itself, right? So likewise, invoice date and document date, both are same. So here, invoice date is different and posting date is different. So what will happen, guys? Now, if I say that, let's suppose, if I say that invoices are going to be due after 30 days. So we are having invoice date, which is also called document date. Okay. And we are having posting date. Okay. Document date and posting date. So this is document date is, let's suppose, what is this invoice date or document date? So most likely the invoice date or document date will be the date on which the invoices are getting printed. Okay, the invoices are getting printed. So invoice got printed on 25th of 11 2018 and we have received on 1st of December, isn't it? So invoice date is 25th 11 and posting date is 1st of December because we have received on 1st of December, so we have posted it. Here it might be like, let's suppose 2nd. Okay, here it could be Okay. So now here, system is confused because I said that we have to calculate the due date, or system is going to calculate the due date. Due date means exactly after 30 days. But this 30 days calculation is going to happen from which date, guys? From document date or posting date? Isn't it? This confusion will be there. So now, if you look at here, so we have to specify document date or posting date. From which date, right? But SAP has given one more functionality, that is entry date. So let me save it here. I've given posting date. Let me save it. Now I'll explain this entry date also. Why I keep on saving? Because so that the connection will not be broken, or else once it is broken, then I'll have to log in once again. Now, so we are having three baseline date: posting date, document date, and entry date. What is this three? So here, document date, posting date, I have explained. What about this entry date? Let me insert one more line here. This is called entry date. So guys, what is this entry date? So let's suppose we have the invoice got printed on 25th 11. So this is your document date or so-called invoice date. And we have received this invoice on 1st of December, might be in afternoon. So whoever the person who is responsible to post this invoices will be in hurry, or they are planning to leave, or he is planning to leave the office in early hour itself. So what will happen? That guy is having the some invoices which is pending for the posting. So let's suppose what he thought, okay, we'll post it tomorrow. Okay, we'll post it tomorrow. So what will happen? Tomorrow is going to be 2nd of this one, 2nd December, right? Next day is 2nd December. So this guy came back to the office on 2nd December, okay? But the moment he is going to post this invoices, so even though it is 2nd December, what is happening? In invoice date, that guy is going to give 25/11/2018. And posting date, that guy is going to give 01/12/2018. Why? Because he is not going to give 2nd of December. Even though it is 2nd of December, but that guy will not give. Why? Because invoice we have received in which date? The 1st of December itself. So transaction must be recorded whenever it is taking place. This is the accounting principle or accounting rule. It is must be recorded whenever it is taking place. So it has taken place on 1st of December itself. And even vendor is also managing certain tools, certain ERP. So once we have the receipt of this invoices, vendor has also recorded or updated their system that on so and so date we have delivered the invoices. So there 30 days is going to be counted. Let's suppose if they have said like, okay, the date on which you are going to receive the invoices, from that date 30 days. So they will also count 30 days from 1st of December itself, because they know that on this date the invoice is received by us, Tata Motor. So what is happening? Even though the date is 2nd, but we are going to give posting date 1st of December itself. Once you post this invoice, then what is happening in background? And entry date is going to be updated automatically. We are not having any control over entry date, guys. You can change the invoice date, you can manipulate the posting date. Okay, whichever posting date you want to give, you can give. Whichever invoice date you want to give, you can give. But we cannot change the entry date. Okay, this is the additional, we can say, here in SAP, let's suppose, so what will happen during audits and all, this is how the auditors are going to find out like some transactions has taken place in the previous month, isn't it? If they check the entry date is showing 1st of December or 2nd of December, but posting date and invoice date we have given of October itself. So they will come to know that this transactions by mistake they forgotten to post these invoices and it was posted in so and so date, right? So even people will accept this mistake and they are going to specify in the narrations also, or these kind of some small mistakes are going to be ignored. Okay. Now, so what is happening, guys? So in background, since today's date is 2nd of December, let's suppose, so that is also going to be updated by system, and where it is going to be updated, it is going to be updated in entry date field. It is going to be updated in which field? Entry date field. So even SAP has given us this entry date functionality also, that we can select this entry date also as a baseline date. But generally, this functionality has been given by SAP, but this is going to be used very rarely. Why I say very rarely, guys? Because till now I haven't received such kind of requirement, but of course might be in past such kind of requirement might be raised by somebody, and which is why this field was developed, right? So posting date and document date, these are very prevalent. These two only are very prevalent. Entry date, if anybody raise a request that I want to, my baseline date supposed to be entry date itself, of course we can apply a check mark here. In the sense, we can select this radio button. Radio button means, if you talk about the checkbox means, let's suppose if you are having 4 options, on 4 options or in all 4 checkboxes we can apply a check mark. But if you are having 4 options here through radio button, then we can select only one. This is the difference between checkbox and radio button. So here we are having radio button, it means only one we can select here. What should be your baseline date? Either posting date, document date, entry date, whichever you want. I'll tell you guys, it should be either posting date or document date. These tools are going to be used very frequently, and this entry date very rarely, very rarely. So if you know the logic, you can, whatever requirement we are going to receive, as per that we are going to set up this terms of payment. So what we have done, we have set up a terms of payment TM30. I'll just do one thing. I think again it is might be logged out. Let me check whether it is logged out or not. So now what will happen? We'll do one thing. We have defined our terms of payment, basic terms of payment. Right now we are not going to look at other things because every fields are having certain use. So those things also will be explained slowly. Okay. As I said, like we are having again upcoming sessions also on this same topic. So in those sessions, I'm going to explain the use of other fields. It means we can have a different other kinds of terms of payment also. So those things will be explained in next sessions. Now in this sessions, I have just set up a basic terms of payment. It means the invoice is going to be due after 30 days. So you simply have given number of days 30, and baseline date means, what is the use of baseline date, guys? So baseline date generally determine the due date. Keep in your mind, baseline date determine the due date. Okay. This question might be asked by people that what do you mean by baseline date? So baseline date, generally what is happening? Baseline date determine the due date. Praveen, you have joined just now. Now the session is going to be finished, right, within 5 minutes. Okay, no, okay. So we'll do one thing. I think connection got broken. Let me log in once again. In real time it happens. In real time also it happens, guys, but not this much frequently. In real time, if you don't, let's suppose, do any activity for 30 minutes, then it is going to happen. In this practice server, it is going to be log out automatically in 5 minutes itself if you don't do anything. This can be also increased, but for that, once again, we have to raise a request to this technical guys. They will do some R&D and then they are going to make it. So anyway, let me explain this terms of payment. Let me complete this because already this lecture become very long. Okay, so what we have done, guys, we have set up our terms of payment OBB8. I'll just show you guys here what we have done. Click on position. We have set up our terms of payment, that is TM30. Okay, look at here, TM30. So this is the terms of payment which we have set up. Now what next? The next one is, as I said, whichever terms of payment is there, that we are going to. Okay, there is a reply. Net breakup from morning. Okay, no issues. So that is the benefit of this online session, guys. Even if you join late also, if you're having any activity to do, and if you're unable to join the session also, so this recording is going to be shared, right? So this recording will be there with you guys, and if you watch this video, the same class is going to be repeated, right? And if you're having any queries and questions, you can ask them in the next sessions, or else even you can WhatsApp also, you can call also. Okay, so and even these videos will be there with you guys. After once you become consultant, there also this is going to be useful. Now, so take it. Let me explain this logic. Now, the next one is we have to assign this terms of payment to the vendor master. What I have already explained here on Excel sheet, that whichever terms of payments are there, that is going to be assigned against vendor master. Okay, that is going to be assigned against vendor master. So let's suppose here we have set up this terms of payment. We have set up this terms of payment. It will be, now we are going to assign this terms of payment XK02. Press enter. And here we are having, let's suppose, vendor. So which vendor? I think we are having 383 was the vendor code. I'm able to remember 383. And we have to, you have to give this company code TM02, TM01 is our company code. Select this payment transactions. Here we are going to give payment terms. Okay, payment terms. So guys, there will be a unique question. Okay, unique question here. Look at here, payment terms. At which level the terms of payment is going to be set up, at which level it is going to be assigned. So that I'll not explain right now. Why? Because once I explain a topic called client level setting and company code level setting, what is the difference between those, so then you will be able to understand this logic automatically. Okay, so now once I explain that, then we are going to divert from topic. So let me assign this terms of payment. This field, once again, we are going to use later also, because here payment method, again here also, on this also there will be explanations. Now, so this payment terms we are going to assign to the vendor master. Okay, I have assigned here and save it. So once you assign this terms of payment, once we have assigned to this terms of payment, it means what is happening, whichever this rank is the builder I have created, right? So now what is happening, guys, this vendor is giving us services, like whatever the building corporate office is there that we have taken on rent. So this guy is also going to send us the invoices. Okay, and that invoices, whichever invoices we are going to receive, we have agreed that payment will be made after 30 days, let's suppose. So what is happening, this 30 days terms of payment we have set up in SAP, and that is going to be assigned to this vendor master. So we are not required to remember manually that we have a discussion with Raheja Builder that whichever invoices you are going to send today, that is going to be paid after 30 days. Okay, this is not required to remember, and we are not required to maintain any register for this and all. What is happening? We are going to maintain a digital register. What is this digital register, guys? In SAP, we are going to set up the master data, and in master data itself, we are going to specify all those things. So now we have assigned this payment terms. Now let me do one thing. I'm going to post an invoice. Let me post an invoice, and then we'll wind up this session here itself, because it's a very big lecture and there are lots of things to explain tomorrow also, day after tomorrow also. Again, still there will be several lecture on this. Now, so we'll post an invoice FD60 and here. Now I'll just do one thing, guys. We'll give a different invoice date. Let's suppose I'll give invoice date 15/12/2018, because we have to perform testing. We are going to perform testing, isn't it? The first testing is we have to check what is the due date. Once we post the invoice, we'll have to check how the due date is going to be determined by system. Okay. How to? Okay. Now give an amount here. Let's suppose 1,500. I've given. Now here I'm going to give rent GL. This is your expense GL, and here give 1,500 once again. A normal invoice we are going to post. Okay. If you press enter, then what will happen? Okay. What have we done, guys? Let me check. 383, 100, 383, and which vendor we have selected here? Let me check here. Okay, give the standard payment terms. Okay, we have given a wrong vendor, guys. The payment terms we have assigned against Raheja Builder, it means 383, and I have selected a wrong vendor, right? So let me select this vendor. I'll just do one thing, then we'll have to use FD60 once again. Okay, I have to show you guys certain things. So let me select a correct vendor. So correct vendor is this one, where we have assigned the terms of payment. And here and this is the CL once again 1,500. And if you click on payment tab, then what is happening? Look at here, the terms of payment is appearing automatically. It is copied by system automatically. How? So we have given the vendor number. The invoices are going to be posted against a particular vendor itself. So against this vendor master, what we have done, guys? We have assigned the terms of payment against the vendor master itself. So from vendor master, system is going to copy the terms of payment automatically. Now, what about your due date? How this due date is going to be calculated? So guys, we have already specified in terms of payment that invoices are going to be due in 30 days. Invoices are going to be due in 30 days. And those 30 days are going to be calculated from posting date, right? So look at here. Invoices are going to be due after 30 days, and those 30 days are going to be calculated from posting date. Look at here, system has calculated here in baseline date. What is there? 18th 12th 2018. So this 18th of December is your document date or posting date. Click on basic data. So document date is 15th 12 and posting date is 18th 12. So posting date is going to be considered for this. Posting date is going to be considered for this, what to say, due date calculation. If you select in baseline date, if you are going to select baseline date, means what, guys? The base from which system is going to calculate, there should be certain date, or there should be certain base, or there should be certain deadline from where system is going to calculate this due date. So baseline date, we have, if you are going to select posting date, system is going to calculate this 30 days from posting date. If you are going to select this document date, then what will happen? System is going to calculate this 30 days from document date. Even in next session also I have to continue the same topic, so there I'll show you guys even by selecting document date also. Don't worry. So now here posting date we have selected, and which is why when system has selected in baseline date, system has selected baseline date as a posting date itself. And from, sorry, posting date is 18th of 12th. So here baseline date got updated 18th of December. It means posting date got copied here in baseline date. So 18th of December. In that, system is going to add 30 days. So the invoices are going to be due on 17th of next month. 17th of Jan, it is going to be due. So what will happen? If you click on post it. So now 1014 slash NFBL1 look at the vendor line item display, click on execute. So this is the invoice, document date. You can do one thing, guys. Let me bring the due date here. Type due and press enter. Net due date, I'm going to bring here where it is, document type. After that document, I'll bring here and copy. So now look at here, the net due date is appearing automatically, and if you click here, then it is showing that not due. It means these items are not due. This invoice is not due. Okay, it is going to be due on 17th. So if you look at the 17th of January, then this symbol is going to be changed and it is going to be treated as a different symbol will be there. Kind of bell icon will be there, and if you click your cursor, it will show that it become due. On 18th onwards, what is happening? The same line item is going to be changed, and here there will be a different icon, and we click on that, it is going to show you overdue. It means once you cross the due date, it is going to be, the due date is crossed, then it become overdue. Okay, so even that also will be discussed later, don't worry. So this is what a basic terms of payment, guys. Look at here, it has taken almost more than 1 hour lecture, more than 1 hour explanations. Okay, even there are other types of terms of payment also which will be discussed. Okay, so in this that's all in this session, guys, and that's all for today. Now, okay, there are certain questions which has been raised by Amrit. Posting date has nothing to do with posting of invoices. It's just the date on which we receive the invoices. Yes, exactly. See, if you go in details, then you can say like the date on which we have received the invoices, that will be the posting date. But even the date on which you are going to receive the invoices, on same date people are going to post it also. In 99.99% of the cases, what is happening, it is going to be posted on same date. Okay, so which is why posting date means the date on which we are posting the invoices also. But if you talk in what to say, if you're going at micro level, then generally entry date will be the date on which we are going to post the invoices. That is the exact date, right? Entry date means the date on which we are going to enter the transactions. So even though in posting date we are going to give 1st of December, in the previous example I've taken, like even though the date is 2nd of December, but what we have given on posting date 1st of December. Why? Because we have received the invoices on 1st of December. So vendor is going to calculate their 30 days from 1st of December itself. So we also have to, since we have received invoices on 1st of December, so we have to post this on that date itself, and that is going to be counted as a posting date. And since the entry is going to be taken place on 2nd of December, so in entry date it is automatically system is going to update 2nd of December. Okay, is it clear, Amrit?
Yes, sir. Sir, one more question is there.
Yeah.
Sir, suppose if we maintain a payment term in vendor master data is different from what we have entered during the transaction, then which will have the priority, sir? The system will
Okay,
calculate.
don't worry. We have started the session just now. So why I said like it is going to take more and more session, because these things also I have to show you practically. Instead of explaining this theoretically, why not to see practically how it is going to happen and which one is going to be considered by system, so that you guys will be able to remember, right?
Okay, sir.
So this is going to be covered automatically. Don't worry.
And sir,
Still we have other terms of
there is
payment
two
also.
tables that FD60 and F/43. Does there is any difference between them, sir?
No differences here, no differences.
Okay, sir.
Whether you use FD60 or F-43, no differences. If you look at the video which I have covered, like GL settings and all, there I have so told you guys F-02 and FD50, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
the same logic is going to work out here in F-43 and FD60 also. Okay. There is no differences. Both are going to be used for invoice posting itself, and even later once I start the FIMM integrations, as I said, like lots of exclusive explanations will be there in that. So there also we are going to use a different T code for again invoice postings and all. So there I'll correlate all these things. Okay. And yesterday there was a message from somebody. I'll not disclose the name, that so you are uploading some of the videos on YouTube, or like you are updating in Facebook also. So guys, it's not like all the videos, hardly how much, hardly 2% or 3% of my entire contents, whichever things I'm going to teach, isn't it? So 2-3% only I'm uploading over there. It's a kind of demo itself. Even other people are also watching. Let them get the benefits. It's good only. There is nothing too bad in that, right? And even like what is happening, so people will have a kind of awareness. Everybody are uploading their videos on YouTube and what to say, sharing in Facebooks and all. That is a kind of advertisement itself, right? This is how people will come to know about me or other people and all. Okay, so not to worry about this, isn't it? It's not like that all the videos everybody is uploading. They are uploading 2-3 classes, 2-3 sessions and also like that even I also upload, isn't it? However, I get a request from people, like, so kindly upload other videos also, isn't it? So all the videos cannot be uploaded on YouTube. However, if possible, if anybody is going to call me, and if I feel that okay, if that guy can be benefited by giving 20 minutes, right? So in that case, of course, I'm going to help them. So it doesn't mean that I'm going to ignore you people, right? You're my students, right? So the first priority is going to be given to you guys only. So not to worry about this. Okay, guys, we'll do one thing. Then we'll close this session here itself, because this is a very long lecture. It's a very big lecture, and see you guys tomorrow, same time. So bye bye. Have a good day.